Hello everyone, I'm Max and welcome to End of the Line. Today we'll be talking about the Corris Railway, so let's get into it. Located in Wales near the Talwyn Railway, the Corris Railway was first conceived in 1850, where a proposal to make a railway near the slate quarries in the area, but the plan was not undertaken until 1859, in which a tramway was built that ran from Corris to Welsh word, so I'm going to mess it up, Macleneath, but was worked by horses, not the normal steam locomotives. The railway also linked up with the Cambrian Railway. The tramway was not to last, as in 1864, the tramway became a railway, which meant it could use steam locomotives. 14 years later, the first steam locomotive was delivered, and it was built by Hughes Falcon Locomotive Company. It was an 040 saddle tank, as you see on screen. The same year, the railway's ownership was passed to the Imperial Tramways Company. In 1879, one 040 and one 042 saddle tanks of the same design arrived on the railway as number 2 and 3. 4 years later, in 1883, Parliament allowed the railway to carry passengers, which meant the railway continued to prosper for the next 23 years, until 1906. In 1906, the slate quarry, Welsh word, at Braingoch was one of the quarries the railway originally served, so that created the first of the financial losses. After World War I, slate was not as needed as it used to be. That meant that the railway continued to lose customers. After, in 1921, even with the financial losses, the fourth locomotive was a specially built tattoo class by Kerr, Stewart & Co. Also, in 1929, after grouping, the Great Western Railway took over the line from Imperial Tramways. The Great Western essentially dwindled down the railway's use by limiting services and canceling the passenger services altogether. As is a pattern with these videos, in 1948, the Big Four, aka the LNER, Great Western Railway, Southern, and the London Midland Scottish Railway grouped into one government company, BR, or British Railways. In the same year, the River Defy flooded, which was a river near the line, which was an excuse for British Railways to close the line. But the legacy of the railway continued because in 1951, the newly founded Talwyn Railway Preservation Society purchased the two remaining locomotives, number 4 and number 3, which later became Edward Thomas and Sir Hayden. Not only did the society buy the locomotives, but also many of the rolling stock left. You'd probably presume that this is the end of the railway, but you'd be wrong, because in December of 1966, the Corris Railway Society was founded to preserve the railway, but that would be a daunting task as the majority of the line was ripped up and most buildings demolished. Also, no engines were left to run the railway. Fortunately, some buildings were left intact. So in 1970, the Corris Railway Museum was opened to raise funds for the railway. With the funds gathered, the shed at Mospeth was purchased in 1981. During the rest of the 1980s was focused on laying track between Mispeth and Corris. After 36 years, the first train ran, but it was diesel hauled. And it was that way for the next 3 years. In 2005, the railway received its first preservation steam engine, which is number 7, a Kerr Stewart Tattoo class locomotive, same as number 4. In present day, the railway is looking to expand with a new engine based off of the original number 3 of the railway, which was a Falcon Locomotive Works engine, which is currently being built. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I felt that this was a fitting video after the massive success of the Talclin video. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing.